Good morning. Today you're going to be inspired. Yes, if you want to hear my story, please. I'm going to make a really long video. Be patient and maybe this is going to impact you positively. Yes, I'm going to share my story on how God has been good to me. Yes, I'm going to talk about great stuff only. Even God, when He's with you, you're going to still be faced with some challenges, but let's concentrate on the positivity of this great man. This one big phenomenon that you don't even get to understand, right? Yes, guys. I grew up with my grandmother, from the adopted side of the family. Yes, my mama was adopted. I didn't know that up until I was 11. So I grew up a happy child. Those people took care of me. They didn't even make me feel like my mom is adopted. Yeah, I know them as my cousins, my brothers, my aunties and everything. So even today they're still part of my family, even much more than my biological family. So let me go to when I'm 11 years old. Then when I'm in 11 years old, my mama got remarried to my stepfather. We still staying with him. I'm actually left with only him. My mama has passed away. Yeah, so when I was 11, my mom took me and we moved with my stepfather. Then I had to change my surname. That's when I understood that, oh, wow, okay, actually, my real family is the current surname that I'm using. I'm still using my mom's surname. Yes, I changed from the adopted family surname to my mom's name. Then that's when I understood. Okay, fine. While we are growing up, my mom and my stepdad was struggling. We were actually staying with my stepfather's sister in the same 4-room house. We were staying in 2-bedroom, and they will be staying in another 2-room. Yeah. But things didn't work out fine with us, and my mama had to move out. So while she was moving out, she knew somebody from this other suburb where it's only white, and because she was a what you call this oh my gosh, because my mama was a maid, yeah. So she knew some people who were working together with her for this white family from Sweden. So those guys left. My mom was a maid for them. Then they left. Then we were staying with my stepfather. Then when the family left, my mama was not working. Then she had to move out because things were not right between my mom and my stepfather's family. So she knew people from that suburb, and they told us that there's an abandoned house in one of the suburbs, in those suburbs, yeah. So we squatted there. I remember one time we kicked out by municipalities because they found out that we're squatting there. Then one of my mom's friends took us in. She was staying in the guest they call it what, the back rooms, they call it what, get 7 quarters. Yes, 7 quarters. So we stayed there for a while, up until my mom met this great family from Norway. I was 13 because, yes, I was 12 or 13. I was 13 because I had to repeat a class in primary, because when I moved from my granny's to my mom's, I had to start over, because the standard of education is not the same in the big cities and the villages, yeah. So I had to start, yeah. Then, yeah, I was 13. Then finally, like, wow, I woke up when these people were taking care of us, and everything else. Then my mama, they bought my mama land. They built her a two-roomed house. A two-roomed house is a very standard room in Lesotho. Yes, there are very big houses, but back then with us who are struggling when we are staying in a two-roomed house, you're actually okay. So yeah, those guys built my mama a house, guys. Then we started moving from a rented place where they actually put my mom in up until the house was done. Then we moved to another, what do you call this thing, to another village actually, where I'm still staying right now, where I grew up with at, sorry. Guys, am I going to get to the point though? Okay, so it starts here. Like I'm telling you, I grew up not knowing that my mom is adopted, and I'm staying with the adopted family. When I'm 11 to 13, that's when I started to know my biological family, but I couldn't click with them. I don't know why. It's fine. Then I go to high school. Actually, this family from Norway paid for everything. While my mom was still struggling, guys, she took my sister, the second born, to her sister who was staying in Spokane, right? So she grew up there. I was left with her and the younger sister. Then this family realized that I'm actually a bright child, so they paid for everything from high school up until varsity. That's why I want to emphasize that God was with me since then. Then I went to high school. I wasn't even realizing that I'm bright. I was just a basic child, doing what I have to do at school, up until teachers showed me that actually you are one of the brightest. And I'm like, okay, but it didn't go to my head, because when you're growing up, struggling, the only thing you want is education, because people will be telling you, education, go to school, please pass, you're going to get. So I wanted to pass so bad. Was working hard, guys. There's actually one family which the kids was studying Lady Brand, so they'll pass my house early in the morning, so that the kids, in Maseru and to Lady Brand is a stretch. So they will pick me up in the morning around 6. They will drop me in school so that I can be able to stay there and study. So I wake up early, go with them. They will drop me at school, and I was studying. This is when I was in high school. So I was working really hard. I wanted to impress my mom. I wanted to make her proud. I wanted to impress people around me. When they say a child is brought up by the village, that's it. That's how it is. I was brought by the village. Sometimes some families, while I was still in high school, especially when at school breaks, they will ask me to babysit their kids, and they will give me money so that I can go and get myself some clothes. My younger sister, which 10 years younger, 11 years younger actually, she was still young, so it was not much hassle with her. So I had to hustle for myself. At least my sister, second born, she was staying with a family. She was all right. Yeah. So yeah. So guys, let's move to when I had to go to varsity. It's not easy to enter South African universities when you are straight from high school in Lesotho. The standard of South African this side is not all right. So I had to bridge. And I applied for bridging course in Bloemfontein. I was actually traveling, commuting from Lesotho to Bloemfontein every Saturday. Then, guys, I passed even there. Then I took my results from bridging course and my high school results. I took them to SAQA. They were evaluated, and I managed to get an entry into varsity. Then I applied to many universities in South Africa, and I got accepted at University of Pretoria. People don't know how I got there, because they know it's not easy to enter into South African universities. So while I was doing all this, guys, this is where the glitch is. While I was doing all this, I was alone. I didn't have a career guidance or anything. I was just hearing things from other people who actually went through it, or who are actually in Bloemfontein or in other parts of South Africa, and they are bridging, they're doing this and doing that. So I was only absorbing. I didn't even know, like when you are growing up poor and you know that you're the poorest in the village, you people don't even take you serious. They don't even think you will make it or anything. So yeah, the Temudimo, which is God, was with me all this time. He was pushing me to the direction, because all this that is happened with me from high school up until I go to varsity. I didn't plan it. I was not even it was not even in my head. I was just studying and trying things. Even applying to South Africa, it was something that was just being thrown around. That maybe there's other universities in South Africa, maybe we should try that. I tried my university with my results from home. I couldn't get an entry. So I had to bridge, and I managed to enter university. They still don't understand how. Okay, fine. I'm in Pretoria. People who are actually paying my fees are this family. The Norwegian. They are still paying my fee, and mind you, they are no longer in Lesotho. They paid for my fee up until from primary, high school, and varsity. Guys, you don't understand. You don't understand. They paid for tuition fee. They paid for accommodation, everything, clothes, food, everything. I was not even staying in a community. I was actually having my own flat. I was paying 3.5 or 3.8 a month. I was okay. God was with me. That's when I realized actually God loves me. God is with me. Like guys, you wouldn't understand a girl from Lesotho, especially Abia, like going there in South Africa and doing all this by herself. Meaning God was with me. He was pushing me and everything. Then when they were paying for me, my sister, the second born, who comes after me, I had to leave my mother's sister, my mom's sister's house, because she no longer could afford to take my sister's education further. So I had to step in. You know how I did? I actually applied for scholarship here in Lesotho. I got a scholarship. So I was sponsored by the government of Lesotho and by this family, which actually opened a trust fund for me. And that's when I was able to take care of my sisters, both of them, the younger sister and the one that comes after me, and be able to really take care of my mom, because she was starting to get sick from diabetic. Yeah, from diabetes, yeah. So yeah, guys, that's what I wanted to share with somebody, that you might come from something, but God is going to take you and make you somebody. You might be nobody, but He's the one who's going to make you somebody. So do not give up. Don't look at your background. Don't look at where you're coming from. You will never know where God is going to take you to. You might think, oh my God, my mom is struggling. She is a maid and everything. No, guys, it's not about where you're coming from. It's not about what your family is doing, what your mom is doing, because your mom can be the biggest something, but you turn out to be nothing. So it's about God. Put your trust in Him. Believe that He is watching over you. He is with you every step of the way. Do not, I'm saying do not even once I think it's not with you. Guys, it was not an easy life, I'm telling you, but I wasn't putting the hardest part in front of me, because you know, when you have nothing, but there are people who are around you who believes in you, they actually pushing you, they actually motivating you further to know that I can make it. All right, so let's now stop that. I have finished varsity, actually graduated. Then I didn't know what to do. I wanted to do honors. So, but my mom got sick. She was really, really sick, and I had to come back home. And I applied for honors degree, so that I don't. When I'm still seeking for a job home, I'll be still studying. Then those people, they still paid for me, yeah. And my sisters were doing all right because I was helping out. So yeah, then I failed. I failed honors because I couldn't pay too much attention. I was home. I didn't have enough resources here, and my mom was sick, and I wanted to get a job. I didn't get a job for a long time. Maybe 3 years after my graduation, because I graduated in 2006. Actually got called for a job at the government where I'm still am. Government an employee. So I got a call in 2009 August, yeah. That call actually came unexpected too, because you cannot wait for 3 years without being called for a job, and then you think it will come, you think no, it's not gonna come. But in between, the very same family that was taking me to school while I was in high school, that lady was still there. She connected me with one of his friends. Then I was actually working there, and I was actually earning a little bit. So life was not that bad. Then, guys, another big milestone for me, that when I realized that God was there, actually I started working. I was working for my mom. When you started working and you are the oldest, and you graduated from family, everything has become so new. Then I had kids too, somewhere in early 2000s, yeah. So not early 2000s, 2012 and 2014, that's when I had kids. And I realized I cannot stay in a rented house with these kids for this long. I don't want to pay rent anymore and everything else, and still helping at home. So I needed a land to build my house. Guys, let me tell you, when I wanted to build this house, I only thought, okay, I grew up in 2-bedroom house. I mean, not 2-bedroom, 2-roomed house. At least if I can get a 3-roomed house, I'll be okay. This is going to be a bedroom for me, a lounge, and a kitchen. The kids will actually sleep on a mattress. That was my vision. That was what was in my pocket back then. And it was tough, because even though we were graduates, we only paid 4.5 to 5,000. So it wasn't enough money to look for, to take care of the family, your kids, and yourself. So that's how I was like, okay. Then I met my builder, somebody who built a house. I didn't even have a plan. I didn't even have a plan. So this boy, he's actually young. His father and my stepfather are friends. So she took me like a sister. Then she was like, okay, sister, how much do you have? I told him he's my budget. And he was like, okay, I am going to build your house, but it's not going to be the house you thinking you're going to. I'm looking at the land. I'm actually going to throw this plan. I'm like, come on, I cannot afford it. And she was like, come on, relax, okay. Then I like, so he started, we got material, and he started building my house. And he threw a garage, a single garage, is a surprise. And I'm like, come on, you are stretching my budget, I cannot afford it. I was like, relax. Then, guys, yes, the house got built, everything was up, but I didn't have everything. I only had furniture that I came out from my rented house. Then the floor was not done. I'm sorry, the floor was not done, the roofing, nothing. But we're staying in my house with my kids. I was happy. So my thing is, always when you plan, God if plans, even he has even a bigger plans than you do. My house is very small, guys, but I'm happy with it, because I never dreamt I will have this. Even the small as it is, I never dreamt I will have it. So I pray that whoever is going to see this video will be inspired, will be motivated to know that God is always watching over you. He's always looking at your plans. You planned, but He's the one who's always actually doing everything for you. So yeah, that's my story, guys. Uh-huh. The house is built. Went to the bank and managed to fit in the wardrobe side. There's the ceiling and everything, you know. Then I'm still here, guys. I'm still here, still trimming, because when I look back from where I'm coming from, I'm actually cannot accept where I'm going, because I now know that the plans that He has for me are even much bigger. I'm now traveling the world. I'm going to places I never thought I would be going to. So that's how great our God is. I pray that you stay on your knees. You do not, no matter how hard it is, because I had some hardship. Even after all this great story that I'm telling you, I had other hardships that I'll still share with you if you will allow me. Thank you, my people, for watching. Up until next time, don't forget to subscribe. Mwah.